Bitch, I'm a crip. I just cut out. I don't even care. YouTube 247 Suave back for another video. Today's video we're reacting to is being fat a choice. Fit man versus fat man middle ground. So I'm assuming there's gonna be 5 fat contestants, 5 like people that go gym, whatever, and they're gonna argue whether this is their fit or da 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 da. Couple man have recommended me this one, so I thought why not react to it. This video is hour 20. We don't know how long the reaction is gonna be. So make sure you get your popcorn, get whatever, man. Get ready, man, because it's going to be another reaction. But as you guys can see, it's summertime, man. So, yeah, free the nips, whatever. But let's get straight into the reaction, man. I said, is being fat a choice? What do you guys think in the comments? Do you think being fat's a choice? I low-key think it is. But some people got worse metabolism than others. That's one thing I would say.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity?
Yes.
Shame is what led me to an eating disorder.
Whose fault
When
is that,
what
though?
we're looking for is
Whose fault is that?
stability.
That's your fault.
It's
See, the
an
problem is that you're a
amalgamation.
professional victim. How'd you?
You see, when you see this Myron guy, you know smoke is coming, bro. You just know smoke is coming. Like, this nigga don't play. Same as they got Greg D save. You niggas don't know. This guy's a legend, bro. Can't lie.
Agree, like looking at his physique, like he's at a perfectly, I would say, maybe healthy.
No,
I think
he's definitely overweight, definitely obese.
These niggas are cutting throat. I didn't know they're gonna be this cutthroat. I thought they're just gonna discuss it in general. Alright. See me, yeah, growing up here, I always wanted to be Bolo, yeah. But like recently, like this past like couple like 9 months, like I started to appreciate just being fit in general. Like see these guys, they're Bolo, whatever, but tell them to run 100 meters, they can't. I just wanna look good and feel good. These niggas can't walk up the stairs without huffing and puffing. So who's really the healthy one? Like, you may look fit, but you might not actually be fit. You feel me? Like, I think being healthy is a better alternative than being fucking pounds of muscle and shit. Like, find the equilibrium, bro.
My name's John. I host the Radical Empathy podcast. I used to direct episodes of Middle Ground, but I'll now be moderating today's discussion between jacked men and fat men. Our first prompt is, I have felt disgusted looking at a fat body. Can our agreeers...
Chat, be honest. Be honest. There's sometimes I'll be seeing something and I'll be like, what's up, big shawty? What's up, big shawty? Like, there's a certain point where you look at it and you think in your head, how did they get to this point? I'm gonna be honest, like there's certain times I've looked at it like, how does that happen? Like, how do you like let that happen to yourself? Like, the self-destruction is nuts. But let's see if these niggas are being honest, bro. 'Cause I'm being honest, bro. There's times I've seen that I've been like, what's up, big shorty in the red?
Please step forward.
This nigga lying, bro. Look at him. This is what I'm saying. Straight off the bat, niggas are lying. There's no way you've ever seen somebody and thought, nah. There's some people I've looked at like, god damn, nigga, you better chill the hell out, twin. One donut and you're done. One fantastic and you're fucking finished.
Hell, to start us off.
Well, it's unacceptable to be fat.
Okay. That's a great start. I know why you say that, but it's one of those things where, do you know why you're saying that?
Yes, because I've been fat before and I lost the weight.
Well, me too. I've been fat my whole life. I've been way skinnier than I am now, and I've been way heavier than I am now. Was I less valuable at one point in there?
Well, I mean, you can make an argument.
Oh yeah, this is another thing I'm gonna say. I'm talking about shit this stream, right? Everyone is judged by how you look. If you don't think you're judged by how you look, sorry to break it to you, buddy, but that is life. Like, everyone is judged by how you look, how you present yourself, and your appearance, your face, etc. It's the biggest indicator, like, of appearance. Like, cool clothes and shit can change how you look, but the frame says a lot. I can't lie. And like, people are gonna respect a person that's more fit, etc. Because it looks like you look after yourself. It looks like you're well kept. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, don't let that be you, man. Don't live in Delulu thinking if I'm fat, if I'm skinny, if I'm this, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. Like, people judge. Everyone judges. You have to judge in life. Because if you don't judge, If you judging is how you make correct decisions. Like, how you gonna know someone's dangerous down the road? Because you're judging them. Everyone judges, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why you think people are more reluctant. You know what I'm saying, though?
You're less valuable.
I'm
when you're
cooking,
fatter
bro.
'cause
I'm
you
telling
drain
you.
resources, but that's a whole
Take
other
me in.
conversation. But yeah, I mean, in general, an argument that you're less valuable when you're fatter because you drain resources, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, in general, being fat is unacceptable because you control every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth.
Okay.
It shows a lack of discipline. It shows a lack of character. It shows a lack of temperance. And when you're fat, it's an outward manifestation of your inadequacies.
When I see somebody who's 500 or 600 pounds, all I can think of is, why do they care so little about their health that they can do this, allow themselves to gain that much weight, knowing it's taken 20, 30, 40 years off their life? I just can't imagine not wanting to live that badly.
I understand that. No, it's I've definitely felt disgusted looking at my own body and looking at other fat bodies in my life. A lot of the disgust I felt looking at people was me feeling disgusted with myself and then projecting that feeling onto other people. And I don't think anyone on either side will disagree that health is important. I know that my own mental health was way worse when I was spending every fixate of my life trying to get smaller and trying to be thinner.
I don't think there's anyone that can look at somebody 500, 600, 700 pounds and not think, wow, what have they done? And not be disgusted. Like, how can you not? I just can't understand
You can't
nobody
assume that
thinking
everyone
that.
has the same opinion, though, because unfortunately, some people have emotional stuff that happened, traumatic stuff that's happened. So you can't.
Get over it. The game ain't based on sympathy, God, boss. Niggas love, people love bringing up the whole, I'm going through something. I was going through something. That's why it led me to this point. Have some discipline, bro.
Discount and just say,
Boo-hoo,
because
man.
they're fat.
Boo-hoo, man.
Moms.
Like, there's way.
Everyone goes through stuff, bro. Everyone. There's not a single person in life that ain't going through shit. But it's not about what you dealt, it's how you deal with it, bro.
The worst stuff going out in the world versus people
Absolutely.
saying, "Oh my God, I'm sad. I'm gonna eat some ice cream." It's like, no,
Moms,
dude. It's like
it's
you're
stupid.
fat. You made that decision. You live in the best country ever. If you live in a civilized first world country where you have electricity, internet power, etc., you deserve to be bullied. It's ridiculous to me that we have all these fat people running around. Meanwhile, people are being bombed in Gaza. It's ridiculous. We are so privileged here in the United States and in the West in general. When I see a fat person, I'm like, wow, you got the gift of life. You got the gift of being in a developed country, and you're a fat POS talking about body positivity on TikTok? What the hell is going
But now
on
you're
here?
segmenting, though, because not everyone thinks like that. What do you
No, we
call
need
it?
to bring
Like
shaming back.
Okay.
We need to bring shaming back in so many other regards besides
Yo, can't lie. I don't fully agree with like Fresh and Fit. Like, I don't really be watching their podcast like that. But this Myron guy can he sometimes he be saying it straight up. Like, listen. He be saying it to the extreme. That's one thing I'll say. He says everything to the extreme, but one thing he ain't done is lied.
So we need to do it with sluts. We need to shame fat
Jesus.
people. We need to shame everybody when they fuck up. Because shame,
This nigga looks
shame
like a
has been one of the
shark.
strongest defenses. Everybody when they
Nigga look like a motherfucking shark out the water. Shark up in the sea, baby.
because shame
Them arms are
has
At
been.
least he got dressed though. Pretty sure one of them forgot to
we
twist
need to
that one
shame-
day.
do shame fat people. We need to shame everybody
Brother got tired after doing all the twister. Bro left one. Come on now.
when they fuck up. Because shame,
Zero aura.
shame has been one of the strongest defenses against degeneracy and human fuck-ups.
You had a personal experience you wanted to share. You said you used to be overweight. Now you're
Oh
not.
yeah, so I did an experiment back in like 2015 where I like bulked for like almost 2 years and I got up to like 250 pounds and then I dieted down. It took me about 7 months. I systematically did it, controlled my calories, tracked my macros, tracked my protein, carbs, fats, and systematically lost 1 to 2 pounds per week.
So you chose to gain up to 250.
Yeah,
you were
so I've
naturally
been in all
skinny
spectrums.
beforehand.
Like I'm naturally skinny.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get fat as an experiment.
Yeah.
Did it, and then I was like, all right, now I'm gonna lose the weight. And then all I did was just track my calories, ate the same food every single day.
Yeah.
Went to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and everything was controlled, and it got done. Was it monotonous? Of course. Was it
No,
boring?
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
I agree with you there. I am naturally this way. This is with working out 4 or 5 times
That's
a week.
not true.
This is
Nah, you
100% true,
can't.
bro.
Nah, bro.
No.
Come to the gym.
Nah, that's cap, bro. I'm telling you, yeah. Anyone can lose weight if they do it properly. I promise you. Cause even me and my boy Josh, this time we lost like over 10 kg in like 3 months, 3-4 months. Like that's like 20-30 pounds We lost that in like a couple months. So you're telling me Jitler gang over here, Tula gang, can't lose? Yeah, nah, that's cap. That just means you're not dieting properly. Something is wrong.
It's not natural.
Obviously, it's going to be harder for some people because me and him, we're both naturally more skinny, me and my boy. But like, that's not to say like this guy can't lose weight. Anyone can lose weight. My boy Ali, he's lost a fuck ton of weight. He's lost like 20 kg. Like, anyone can lose weight. It's just about how bad you want it.
At all, because at the end of the day, if you don't lose weight, by definition, you're not in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit, then you're gonna either maintain or gain weight, and that's the problem, is that people don't track their calories.
And that's true, but people burn at their resting metabolic rate a different set of calories.
Doesn't matter.
Let's not get too granular right now. Ragani, it's gonna.
Since when did Greg Doucet get the Dio B23s? Wait, hold on, chat. Can you see that? The B23s. When did Broski unlock that one?
Be one of
Separately, this guy looks like a headache, bruv. Guy's too bolo.
those episodes, right? Let's bring in the disagreeers and hear from them.
Okay, so the reason I disagreed, especially when I heard the statement, I don't think I'll ever look at somebody based on their situation and think that I'm disgusted. Like, if I see somebody that's a drug addict on the street that's homeless, I'm not disgusted by that. If I see somebody that's incredibly overweight, I'm not disgusted by that. Do I think that there's an opportunity for growth? Do I think they've been put in a disadvantageous position that's probably makes it harder for them? Absolutely. I think I'm kind of an empath, so when I see somebody, I know that there's things underlying, and one of my best friends is 400 plus pounds. I've helped him lose 150, 200 pounds. He's gained it back. And I don't look at him and say, I'm disgusted, but I know how bad he wants it. And just seeing how hard he tries and then reverts, it's almost more tough for me than to be like, oh, that's disgusting, you know? And I think there's plenty of people that look at me and say, that's disgusting. I never want to look like that. So like, I know what it feels like on the other side to like look the way I do and get people look at me like, ugh, that's gross. So like, have that muscle, and to go back to that point, like you came from a fit place and like deciding to bulk, like that's a conscientious decision to gain weight. Like you already have those habit routines and skills in order to stay in shape, and then you use those same skills you had to pull back on the calories and knowledge you had.
The reason why I use that example is that you can get fat and lose the weight if you know what you're doing and you have the knowledge and everything else like that. It's just about consistency over time. So it's like, I look at it like—
let me cut you off, because here's one thing that you just said.
Yeah.
You had the tools. So there's people that don't have the tools that you've passed judgment on, and you have failed to realize.
Yeah, but who taught him the tools? He taught himself. Everyone teaches. You're not born with this knowledge. Like, you gotta go out there and get it. Get how you live it.
That with the tools, people are very much capable of achieving amazing things. But
okay, let's talk about set
no,
tools.
hold on, I'm not done.
Well, you cut me off
I'm
before,
not done.
remember?
And I stood over there and I listened to you, and I was like, it's a ton of bullshit too.
Sure.
But we're gonna address this, right?
Yeah.
You are passing judgment on people who lack the tools to do what it is that they need to do to get themselves to a certain point of health. There are multitudes of factors that weighs into what goes on with somebody's body. There are people that even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just going to the gym, cutting calories, watching everything that you eat. There are some people that have a disposition. I have a disposition. But does that mean that I'm not active? Does that mean that I'm not doing certain things? No, it doesn't. But you're passing judgment on somebody's body that you know nothing about. Now, on the flip side, what if I turned around and I did the same thing to you? You're talking about how fit and stuff that you are, but you're over there and you're smallest compared to these other guys. So how does that feel if someone comes? No, because you said shame, right?
That's a little.
You said shame, right?
Yeah.
So how does that feel if someone comes up and they start shaming you for size? Like, come on, it goes both ways.
We're just in the first
So,
prompt. We got to be
here's the
careful
thing.
about targeting each other too directly. You
No, I
definitely.
mean, I'm not offended. It's fine. He's
no,
emotional,
it goes
and that's
in
fine.
every direction.
He's obviously very triggered.
Oh,
but
I'm
yeah,
not
so let's talk
triggered.
about, let's hit the first part, tools.
I'm
What are
not
tools?
triggered.
Specifically knowledge, which you can get for
Shut up,
free
Gaylord.
on the internet. If you have the ability and the discipline to go out there and get the knowledge, then you're gonna lose weight. It's just that simple. It's just that people want to always make excuses for why. Oh, my feelings. Oh, I don't know what, you don't know what people are going through, blah, blah, blah. No. You can watch your calories, you can go to the gym, you have time to do it. People just like to make excuses.
I don't think anyone's debating that weight loss is impossible here. I think the question is, why do you hate fat people that you feel the disgust towards it?
Well, like I said before, it's a culmination of a bunch of bad decisions. I'm not going to go ahead and give the same level of respect to someone who's a fat ass to someone that has worked really hard and diligently on their physique, because your body's outward manifestations
There's
of
more
your decisions,
factors to a
your
human
consistency.
being than their body.
Well, you could judge a lot just off of someone's physique. You'd be like, okay, well, this guy is lazy, and that's personified through their physique. It's the truth.
Abe, I thought you.
Color, this Asian. This guy here can't believe what he's hearing. He's sitting here like, damn, this nigga's running his mouth.
See,
Than their body.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Well,
he can't believe it. He's saying what? Nah, that's made me laugh.
Judge a lot just off of someone's physique. You'd be like, okay, well, this guy
Bro gulped as well. He was like, whew, I ain't ready for this video.
is lazy, and that's
Little brother don't even
personified
know
through
what he
their
signed
physique.
up
it's
for.
the truth.
Abe, I saw you wanted to say
I
something.
mean, just to take it back to the prompt, I think we just kind of went all over the place there.
Yeah, we're still focusing on the word disgust.
Just the word disgust. I mean, I would never look at someone and show disgust towards them. I mean, I think I would respect.
I would never say that to anyone. Like, everyone is equal, and if I saw someone walking down the road and they were a crackhead, I mean, I would just treat them with the same respect I would treat the CEO. Like, what's the difference? Like, it's not like there's anything wrong with them. Like, it's not like they could rob my children or anything. Nigga, just shut the fuck up, bro. Your lame ass haircut, bro. Should be looking good. Look at his haircut, chat. Wait, hold on, hold on, fuck you. Chat. Yeah, you better shut up. He better shut up. Zero aura. Zero aura, I'm saying. Zero flipping aura, bro. But anyway, skip us straight back into it.
Disgust towards them. I mean, I think I would respect, like you said. I mean, you don't respect everyone, like you said, but I think
Respect is earned.
I mean, it is earned, but I mean, I think at a humane level, we can learn to appreciate each other's differences.
Yeah, I don't know if like disgust would be the right word, right?
I know.
Greg mentioned some health implications with being overweight or obese.
Yeah.
I think being concerned might be a better.
That's the word I was going to go
better
for.
word.
Like,
but-
I can show concern for someone for the way that they are, but I would never look at someone and say like, you're disgusting.
Wearing an Apple Watch on your big as that is dumb as shit. Dumb as shit, fool. That shit just there for decoration.
Disgusting.
But is it any different than if you see somebody who's extremely anorexic, they're 50 pounds, you look at them, you're in shock. Oh my God, like something happens in your body you can't control. You can't stop that.
There
Like
could
how
be a-
can
there
you
could be a
not?
shock
It's not, I
factor,
don't
but
hate them.
that's different
It's just,
from-
wow, oh my God, it's like, it's disgusting. Like, holy goodness
But
gracious.
why
That's a
would
shock
you
factor,
use
though.
the
That's
word
not- that's
disgusting,
not
right?
disgusting.
So you just mentioned the polar opposite of what we are, right? But why would you look at them and be disgusted versus concerned? That is a very specific word, and it has very specific connotations behind it. And when it's used, it's somewhat weaponized as well.
I don't think we can.
God, he's one of them dons, yeah, that they think they're so articulate by jumping in so many words, like, bro, they think they're so smart, bro. This reminds me of, like, in secondary when niggas learned the word indubitably. Like, just shut up. Just shut up.
When it's used,
It can be used and weaponized. Shout out Big Shotty and the Green.
it's somewhat weaponized.
Big
as well.
Shotty and the
I don't think we can
Green.
help how we feel. I don't think I can choose like, oh, I just am not. It would be sitting here and lying. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm always going to be honest with people. I'm disgusted. This is just how I feel.
The thing is, when you see a fat person, the reason why it's disgusting and the reason why there's so much pushback on this whole body positivity and people make fun of Lizzo, rightfully so, by the way, is because it's unattractive, it's unhealthy. Until we had this woke era, they used to put like models and attractive people on the cover of magazines that were in shape. Why? So that people can aspire to look like that. And it's healthy and it looks better in general. You look good, feel good. But when you're fat, it says a lot about you. People aren't going to sit there and be like, let me see if he's a good person. No, they're just going to assume that you're lazy, which you are, by the way, when you're fat, and you don't have discipline, which you are, by the way. So they're just going to assume off of what they see. That's the world that we live in.
I
Yeah,
love
he's-
how you just you
he's saying the
stated
extreme.
A ton of assumptions. You didn't state not one fact. You just stated assumptions.
I want to move on to the next prompt, but we're definitely.
Can I say one thing? Just one question. Like, let's say you knew he used to be 600 pounds, and how much you weigh now?
I'm 384.
And now he's 384. Do you see him as less disgusting knowing he's lost 220 pounds?
No, that's fantastic.
I
but
think yes,
there's still
less.
work to be done. But here's the thing, like I said before, unfortunately, human beings judge a book by its cover. It's just the world that we live in. Fat people.
Chat, did I not say this?
Identifies 97 genders.
Chat, did I not say this?
To change our worldview for them, and that's just not how the world works. Like,
Why-
it's
why
been that
don't you
way,
wanna
it's always going to
change
be
your
that way.
worldview? That's
All right,
I think what I don't get.
we
It's just the
we
world
gotta
that we're in,
reset.
like, people are gonna, yeah.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, my bad.
No, let's reset. Jacked men are more attractive than fat men.
Bruh.
The agreeers, please.
Chat, you're lying. These are like, these ain't even questions. These are just statements. What is a fat man? Bro. Let's see what they say.
Step forward.
I ain't even gonna answer this one. I just want to see their opinion.
How come there's 4 guys over there? All right, so we're living in a bizarro world where people don't see the truth.
People are living in Delulu, bro.
Like, how is it possible that they're thinking, no, being obese and unhealthy is more attractive than being fit and healthy? How is this possible?
Actually, you know what? This is precisely why a majority of women find a majority of men as unattractive. Because a lot of guys think this way, oh, I just be a nice guy and girls are gonna like me. No, they're not. She's not gonna suck your dick with the same veracity when you're a fat as when you're in shape. She's just not. See, people don't understand that women are aroused by one thing and they're attracted by another thing. Women are attracted to, you know, a guy that's confident, ambitious, makes money, etc. Of course, right? But they're aroused by guys that have asshole tendencies, dark triad traits, etc., and guys that are physically in shape. So if you want to get the best of your woman, where she respects and admires you, while simultaneously being aroused by you so she doesn't cheat on you, you need to have it all.
You're saying that's true for all women?
A majority, a staggering majority of women.
There might be 1% of the world that there's something wrong with them that might think that, yeah, you're 600 pounds, it's so hot, I love that, but...
The hot girls that you actually want, they exercise their hypergamy to the highest degree, and they want guys that are fit and have their money together, have their life together.
You're looking at me like you want to say something.
That's true. That is true. I can't deny the facts. Women love what they love. Women like what they like. There is some anomalies, but for the most part,
Because the question was, are jacked men more attractive? We all walked over. Are we more attracted to jacked men?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they framed that because we're all guys here they mean women.
Well, men can be attracted to men.
If I had to
we're just
switch
saying.
teams, I'm going with the Jack guy.
Obviously, this is going to be like personal biases, but I think attraction is very fluid in the sense that I can 100% admit, like, there was probably 40 pounds of muscle ago is when most women would be like attracted to me. Of course, like fitness girls, they're totally okay with the size I am, but like probably most girls I'm like too much for. So I guess, like, where do we draw that line of, like, I think, for example, like you would be much more attractive to most women than me. Would you agree with that?
I mean, that doesn't mean that, like, if you walked up to a girl and let's say you're not her, like, you're a little bit more muscular than she would, like, if you have the charm and charisma, she gonna still go with you, man. It don't matter.
I have an interesting point.
that's a good point.
And no,
That's the point. That's aura. That's aura, guys. Do your homework on aura, bro. Don't make me do a video on aura. But yeah, nice. All about charm, charisma. But obviously, this just makes it easier because everyone judges by how you look. First of all, once you break that barrier there, that's where the charm and charisma comes in.
But I think if you had Zach, right, you're on the end.
Yep.
If you put Zach and Greg and you put them next to each other and you did a poll, I think that most women would probably pick him if you had to, like, because he's got the height and all that. What would you guys say to that?
No.
Well, we can put it to the test.
But that's not really fair. I'm 48 years old. He's a lot younger than me. He's about a foot taller than me. But you can't compare. I'm an old man. I'm 48 years old.
Obviously, height is a big component. So that you know, so it's not you're comparing apples to oranges. But if you take the same guy, same height, etc., but one guy is fat, one guy's in good shape, she's always gonna go with the guy that's in better shape.
Because I've been so surprised to see on Instagram, there'll be like guys doing like an outfit try on, like not in shape in the slightest bit, and all the comments are women like, I wish like men knew this is how we wish they looked, and like, oh, this is like the
Liars
dream.
for social
liars,
media.
Liars for
To look good,
one thing
for
about you
clout.
can never believe what women say, man. You
Correct.
you believe how they behave, not what they say.
That's a different episode.
That's all right. Figure it all in.
Yeah.
I disagreed mostly just with the blanket statement because attraction is so subjective. I am a big and tall model by trade. That's what I do. I model clothing brands. I've modeled with major fashion houses. I've been on the covers of magazines. You mentioned before dad bod comments and whatnot on social media. I was flabbergasted when I started how many people were commenting and DMing me and talking about how attractive I was, that it just kind of, I don't know, showed me that attraction is a lot more subjective than I thought, and people have a much wider range of what they find attractive than specifically a body type.
Is being jacked the most important trait for being attractive? I'd argue for guys, it'd probably be otherwise, right? I think height would be a very
Money,
component. Yeah.
height, fame, like what can you bring to the table?
The number one thing is status. By far, status.
People also go after what they think they can get. So if this guy is 6'5" and extremely attractive, and it's like, well, I can't get that guy. I'm attracted to the 10 on 10 supermodel, but I'm not going to get her, so I'll be happy with the 9.9 on 10.
Just to be clear, are we speaking about women being attracted to men?
It's not just about women. It's just about attraction. What is the
general?
most attractive, in your opinion,
Okay.
physique for a man?
Okay, I'm speaking from like what women find attractive. So when I speak, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
anybody.
sexually fluid. So my law of attraction does not adhere to anyone's standards, pretty much. I'm attracted to people in general. So you could be jacked, you could be more plus size, you could be skinny, you could be whatever it is that you are. If I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you.
What are the traits you find most attractive?
I think the way that you carry yourself is a really big thing for me.
That's a good point.
I can't date someone who
That's aura.
lacks confidence, because I feel like that seeps into other aspects of your life.
It
Do you mind if
does.
I jump in on the confidence thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
cool.
not lying. I can agree with Big Shorty on
growing
that
up,
one.
wasn't too confident in myself, and I gained that confidence when I started losing weight. And I noticed it was me putting myself in positions to get more that confidence when I started losing weight. And I noticed it was me putting myself in positions to get more opportunities with women. Right now, I'm single right now, but
Right, let me
it's
hear this
me
again.
Putting myself in position, and I gained that confidence when I started losing weight. And I noticed it was me putting myself in positions to get more opportunities with women. Right now, I'm single right now, but I'm doing okay. But the confidence came from me losing weight. So I do agree that it's a subjective kind of standpoint, but socially, I understand that physically.
Everyone just looks better with less body fat. Point blank, period. Everyone looks better with a lower body fat. No one looks better with more body fat. That's it.
Fit men, that's just like what everyone's liking. It's like
I don't
that's
think
what
it's as
trends towards.
subjective as guys are trying to say. Attraction isn't a choice, and there are hardwired traits that women look for in men. And what I've come to realize is that what women put out there is what they find attractive or politically correct things. Oh, he has a dad bod. He's nice. He's a good guy. The reality is that women don't respond well and favorably to these men. There's a reason why nice guys finish last is a thing. It's because when you're too nice and you kind of bend to her will, etc., girls aren't aroused by that. Girls don't want to say what they're really aroused by. Guys that are able to stand up to them, guys that are able to tell them, well, that was a stupid comment, or hold them accountable for their stupidity when they do dumb things. This is what women find attractive because these are leadership traits.
Have any of those things happened to you, though?
Well, I mean, I've talked to almost 3,000 women, and what I've
3,000 is OC, chat. 3,000 is crazy. I don't know how many girls I've talked to ever, but like 3,000. Brother, that's like 365 days in a year. That's nearly like 8 years. We're saying like 8 years. 365 times 8. I'm saying that's around 3,000 now. Yeah, that's literally 2.9. That's one for every day. Over 8 years. But I don't know how old he is. How old is Myron? Oh, he's 34 though. And you start talking to girls when you're 20. I'm saying you start talking to girls when you're like 15, right? That's like a 20-year span. Okay, cool. That's not that bad, to be fair.
come to realize from talking to all of them.
No, but bro, it's still 3,000 is crazy though.
I mean, I've talked to almost 3,000 women, and what I've come to realize from talking to all of them is that most of the time, you know, when they're in a comment section of TikTok, like, you're so handsome, blah, 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 will they actually go on a date and have sex with that guy? Probably not. But they say that because it's politically correct, and women tend to not want to be adversarial. They're going to say what sounds good, but what they're actually aroused by are two different things.
But they're married to those guys.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was
Most
getting to.
often they're married
I'm
to-
married
And
to.
marriage is a
cheating.
failed institution in the West, and this is why most men get divorced by women. This is why they get destroyed in the divorce courts. This is why women overwhelmingly initiate the divorce rates in America. 80% are initiated by women, because we sit here and we lie and we believe what women say they're actually attracted to. No, they're not attracted
Let's
to
go
all the
back
things
to
they talk about.
attraction for a second though, because
It's getting
I'm
juicy,
married.
chat.
Sure.
I have a child.
Cool.
I have a beautiful wife. I was this size the entire process through it.
Would you say that you're an average guy?
I would say that
You're
I'm
how
bigger
tall?
than average.
6'5",
Yeah, you're not an average guy.
and a model
You're not an
for,
average
for
guy.
being slightly
I
overweight.
wasn't a model when I started.
That's a crazy statement, Craig. A nigga said you're 6'5" and you're a model for being slightly overweight. OC chat.
You are very
This nigga with the pink bandana. Chill out, fool.
good-looking,
I was
tall,
a
big
bartender
guy
fucking
who's
doing
on
whatever.
magazine covers. So
But I
out
know,
of the
I think-
million guys overweight, you're at
but
the
you're not
top
an average guy.
But I
1%.
think what you're
I'm
missing
saying-
is he just said that he wasn't any of those things.
He's not 5'6",
before
man, like
he
me.
met his
Try
wife.
being 5'6" and doing it.
No, I totally agree. Well, that's what I was gonna actually agree with Myron for a second. Believe it or not, we're talking about. You mentioned status, and then a lot of people other mentioned confidence. So you even put it in your own pecking order ahead of being jacked or being physically
status, for sure.
attractive. Wouldn't you say that matters more? Confidence, how you carry yourself, how you do it.
I mean,
the prompt was simply, is it either you're jacked or
And
are you
I'm
fat?
not
What's
gonna
more
argue
attractive?
the fact that our society definitely finds jack guys more attractive. But I disagreed with the statement because it was a blanket statement that I have found untrue in my own life.
Do all of you feel like you'd be more or less attractive, let's say 50 pounds lighter than you are, and simply like just body fat?
I think so.
Yeah, 100% everyone
Yeah.
would.
Something that I struggled with for a while is, in me losing weight, am I still going
Wait, hold on, chat.
to book the jobs that I book? Because I've built an entire brand off of my body. I mean, granted, like, coolish, like, you know, I did something that's all my own. Like, I worked on that. But then I was also just like, if I lose this, are you
No one even like his buddies are looking at him like, just shut up, man. Just shut up, man.
still gonna want me to like do this campaign for you? Are you still gonna want me in your magazine? Are you still gonna want to dress me? And then I had to like take a step back and say like, well, what is it for me? Do I want to be skinny? No. Do I want to look like Greg? No. Do I want to look like Myron? No. But I know I want to look like me. I think talking about the law of attraction, you focus so heavy about what women would find attractive and the perspective of the woman. And I feel like, are you even attracted to yourself? When you look in that mirror, when you put your clothes on, are you like, damn, like I did that? Because when I got up this morning and I threw on my outfit, I was just like, yeah, I ate that.
Well, if you're going to talk about being attractive, etc., typically people are speaking from a romantic sense, from a heterosexual standpoint of men and women. So that's why I answered the question, because it was very broad. That's what I mean. But of course, you need to be able to look at the mirror and respect the man that you see looking back at you. When you look back and you see the guy and you're in shape, etc., and you feel good about yourself, look good, feel good. A byproduct of that is that women just tend to find you more attractive. It all works together in tandem.
Are you happy with the way you look?
Of course, But I had to work to build this physique, and it took many years. I was an athlete in college, I was a Division I athlete. It took many years to be able to do this. So,
What'd you play?
I'm able to. I rowed in college. Crew.
Oh, sweet.
Rowing, yeah.
I like rowing.
So I think when fat people look at the mirror and they say, "Oh, I like that," that's coat, man. No, you don't. They say that to try to bring themselves up, but the reality is, most of the time when you're fat, you look in the mirror. You're like,
Copium.
"Damn, I really let myself go."
Not every
You're
fat
like, you know what?
person-
It's not that much of a part.
No, I look. I don't know. I feel like there's different types of fat people. Like, I've put on weight before, and I've looked at myself in the mirror. No. This will happen. I'll look at my old photos of myself, and I'll be like, damn, I used to have a name for myself, you know. Then I'll be looking at myself now, and I'm like, damn, I let myself go, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get on my shit. How do people not think like this? Like, this is literally how all my friends think. Like, all my boys, all my niggas, we all think the same. Like, we look ourselves in the mirror one day, and we were like, fuck, this ain't good. And you notice the older you get, the metabolism decreases, and you actually have to put in more work in order looking slim and looking good. When you're younger, everyone's got a high metabolism, everyone looks good. Like, come on now, but like, yeah, we're getting old now. We gotta look after ourselves. I don't know how the fuck they're defending this point.
Already, so fuck it.
Abe didn't get to answer the question going around.
Yeah, I was in the same boat as you, just because I feel like I don't agree with the blanket
Body
statement.
has no
Personally,
opinion.
For myself as a gay man, I find myself attractive. I would say like I go for guys like you as well, and I feel like I get a lot of hits on those types of guys, and I'm like I'm pretty content with how I navigate my attraction, and I think it goes a lot to the status and their confidence. So, like we said, so.
All right, let's go to the next prompt.
Body has no self-confidence at all. You can just read body language. That's one thing I've realized in life. You can really read a person, bro. Like, Body has no faith in his answer, no faith in of himself. It's sad. It's so sad. Shit.
After 4 years, the Radical Empathy Podcast is now back.
There's a new episode out now.
Go give it a listen.
Ain't no
The
one
body
care.
positivity movement is problematic. Will he agree or step forward?
The what?
The body positivity movement is problematic. Will he agree or step forward?
Chat, what do y'all think?
I think
I think it's doing more worse than good. It's normalizing too many things that should not be normalized. That's my opinion. I'm talking from the opinion of like, cool. I got little cousins. I got my little brother, man. I got little bros. When I see them growing up, I don't want them to think, because in this day and age, yeah, everything is getting normalized. I don't want them to see like body positivity and think it's okay. No, my little bro is gonna be slim. He's gonna be trim. Like, they're normalizing the wrong stuff nowadays, man. The wrong stuff. Because not only cool, being fat it doesn't look attractive, right? That's like on a surface level. But deeper in that, bro, the health problems, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of that stuff that comes with it, there's more bad than good, bro. I'm telling you. But at least you feel good.
Where it becomes a problem is obviously you should be comfortable in your body, and if you genuinely love how you look, great, but you can't ignore your health. Being someone who is overweight, I've been fortunate enough not to have any extreme complications other than like, knee pain and stuff like that. But I know people that, that are my size or bigger, and they have cholesterol problems, heart problems, diabetes. I have none of that.
Chat, did I not say this, bro? High cholesterol, bro, health problems, like, there's more that comes with it, man, than just like, oh yeah, at least I feel good, like, so what?
So the body positivity movement becomes a problem when you hide behind the shield of, oh, I should love my body, Great, but you have to be healthy too. You can't ignore your vitals. You gotta like check yourself on the inside.
Yeah, I think the big thing is you have to separate the health implication with you just being confident, right? Like I'm all for people to feel confident in their own skin. I think body positivity movement has been beneficial for plus size people in that regard, right? Because let's say there's a plus size person who's too embarrassed to go to the gym because they feel like they're gonna be judged, whatever it is. But it's because of body positivity, they're like, oh, hey, like I see other plus size people in the gym, maybe I'm gonna give it a try. And all of a sudden they start going, they're like, oh man, I like this, right? And they keep it going. You can argue that without body positivity, maybe that day would have never happened for that person, right?
That's
but
real.
I think the problematic part really comes down to people extrapolating body positivity, shaming a celebrity like, let's say Adele, for losing weight, right? That's where I would kind of draw the line there.
Or promoting Lizzo. Making fun of Adele for losing weight, but promoting Lizzo for being a fat. It's unacceptable.
Do we feel, are a lot of people doing that?
I think the thing around Lizzo is it's not just the weight, it's the lifestyle. You like see her drinking all the time and partying and not sleeping. There's like so little to do with health. It's not just she's promoting like loving yourself, which I think is great.
This brother, yeah, he's on the borderline of like, if he put on ME fat, he would be fat because of his size. Cause bro, what side are you fighting for, bro? Every single time, bro, the guy is not sticking by the gang, bro. Like, what the hell?
She's promoting a lifestyle that is unhealthy, like being very overweight, drinking, not sleeping. All of these things are not conducive to your health. So I think you conflate that, and sure, being body positive is important, like loving yourself, loving the way you look. But if that's gonna influence other people to make bad decisions about their body and their health, that's problematic.
Body positivity is disempowering people. It's making them think that they're healthy at any size, which they're not. And so as soon as you start telling people, hey, just love your body, like Lizzo will literally rub her belly and said, you're giving me all this power as she's eating a burger and she's promoting being obese. By doing this, you're just ruining it for people who actually should think, wait a minute, I can lose weight, I can go to the gym, I can eat less, I can do this.
Personally, my problem with body positivity
definitely
isn't
spreads
necessarily
complacency.
what it stands for, and I feel like there's a misconception because there are those people that they use it to justify fatness and just. I don't even want to say fatness. I want to make it very clear, unhealthiness, because there's someone like me who I wouldn't say I'm necessarily part of the body positive community anymore. Personally, I would say I champion body diversity because it's all encompassing. It's inclusive of what everybody, is doing within their journey. When I expressed the desire to lose weight, another plus size individual that I used to be friends with was just like, well, I don't feel like I can share your content because I'm not sure how my followers are going to perceive this. I think it might
Yeah, that's rubbed. That's washed. And do you not see a problem with that?
be triggering for them and stuff like that. And my response to it was, well, if you're championing body positivity, then what I'm doing should not be a problem, because the entire time that I've been advocating for people that look like me or people who have been othered in any capacity in general is that all bodies are good bodies. What we do with our body is what matters. And so body diversity is important to me because for a guy like you or a guy like the two of you might suffer from body dysmorphia. And that's a very real thing. You might not see yourself for what you really are. And so you're seeking unhealthy habits to achieve a goal.
That's a good point. Another thing as well, a reason why I don't really fuck with being too, like, let's say like normal health and fit is cool. I don't fuck with bodybuilding type shit, especially when niggas on the cut. Cause I've seen the other extreme where I think people have low-key got an eating disorder from trying to cut. Like they're too scared to eat something. Like when you're to the point where like all you eat is salads, cool, you might enjoy salads. That might not be a good point, but when I'm saying when you're to the point where you're too scared to eat something because you don't want to fuck up your appearance, I think that's holding too much weight, and that's a problem in of itself as well. I'm just saying, bro. Life is to enjoy as well, man. Life's too short to be stressing over the littlest things, man.
They are, and so you're seeking unhealthy habits to achieve a goal. To get where you want to go, like you just got to give it time. Be healthy in it, in all aspects, like mentally, physically. You've got to find the right avenue to do what it is that you need to do for yourself.
The body positivity movement is a huge psyop to keep us fatter and stupider. It's all a scam. The reality is that Big Pharma wants money, and they understand that when you're fat, you have more health problems. They understand that you're going to need insulin, you're going to need medication, etc. And they make a bunch of money on us being sick. There is no incentive to actually have you be healthy. So let's go ahead and make our people fat as hell, get them in the hospitals, get them on medication, continue to make money, etc. It's all a big psyop.
So you believe it's all intentional?
Nah, I low-key agree. Like, what's it called? The hospital, etc., especially in America, as it's like privatized, etc. It's all a business. That's what you gotta think about. It's all a business. If no one goes to the hospital, no one gets paid there. Think about it. Yes. Everything in life, yeah, you need to look at it face value. It's a business. Every single thing, even though it's fucked, everything's a business, bro. Because everything needs money for it to sustain itself.
We promote mediocrity.
I feel like it's a subset. Yes, I'm sitting here because I do think that there is a part of it that is problematic. But I think that the problematic part of it is a subset of people that use it as a tool to weaponize whatever it is that they're doing.
I think the whole movement is a problem. The body positivity movement in general is a problem. All of it.
So you shouldn't feel positive even about your own, like for you, for instance,
well,
right?
I think if you haven't earned, here's the thing, being happy and content with yourself, it's not given, it's earned. You have to go out there, work, and then you're gonna feel that satisfaction, like, I earned that, that feels
so
good.
At what point do you earn it though?
When you can look back in the mirror and actually, genuinely, not coping, respect the man that you see before you. And the reality is people are gonna realize that you're gonna need to achieve a certain physique, because you have all these fat people, I love my body. No, you don't. It's a lie, dude. You're just coping, you're lying to yourself. And now all these people on Instagram and TikTok with the body positivity movement are lying to themselves. They're not happy where they want to be. They just accept that because they're too lazy to make a change.
No, but I genuinely do love my body.
Right now as you are?
Yeah.
Then why are you going to the
gym?
gym?
And I'll explain to you.
Then why are you going to the gym?
I will explain it to you. I love everything that my body is capable of doing. I love the fact that at my size, I can do a lot of things that other people smaller than me still cannot do.
But you want to lose weight though.
And yeah, right.
Which is good.
I want to lose weight because I love my body, but I have one body. Why would I not love it?
Yeah.
And because I love my
but
body
you understand
is
that your
why
body
I'm
now needs to be
looking to make changes.
Yeah,
right.
make changes.
But to say that loving your body.
Yeah, I feel like brother on the right is waffling. You love your body so much you want to change it. Oh yeah. Oh yep.
It's BS. No, you make changes, you make healthy changes to yourself because you love yourself. All of that time that I'm putting in, the work, the money that I'm spending, That's a labor of love, because I love myself enough to know that I want to make some changes to live a better lifestyle, in the sense of I can just do a little bit more.
All right, let's bring in our disagreeers.
So there's not a single problem.
Oh no, I'm not saying there's not a single problem. To me, body positivity is more about bodily autonomy. Like you were mentioning wanting to lose weight. My whole thing is like, yeah, it's your body, do whatever you want with it. I don't think I, as a human being, have a right to tell any of you what to do with your bodies. Body positivity kind of comes in and go, okay, you as a human being have inherent value. Just in the fact that you are a conscious soul on this planet, you have an inherent value. You are within a vessel of your body that you do have control over, but at the same time, you're not less valuable to society or from the standpoint of the soul for what your body looks like.
When I'm speaking about body positivity, I'm talking about the over acceptance and encouragement of being obese.
So I personally, again, I'm not super online, have not seen anybody pro-obesity ever.
Lizzo.
Oh, there's a bunch, dude.
She loves herself.
don't
There's a
think
Nikocado
that it's
avocado.
No, there's a
They
big
are
difference.
actively promoting obesity.
She's not telling anyone to get fat.
She's showing you exactly how to do it. And
Yeah, I can't lie. These guys are beating around the bush, yeah. That's like saying, yeah, Joe doesn't incite violence. Yeah, cool, they're not telling no one to stab nobody. They're not telling nobody to go out there and harm someone. But, like, proof's in the pudding. The same way these fat fuckers are on fucking YouTube doing mukbangs for 2 hours, whatever, eating the fuck out their plates. Yeah, they're not saying go get fat, but people are watching it thinking, I mean, he's doing it, why can't I do it? And a lot of people are impressionable nowadays, you know?
saying, look at my body as I love and
saying
rub it, and
she's
it's giving me
happy.
life, and she's like joking around. And
And
that's
also,
the
I
whole
want to
thing.
clarify. And see, here's the thing: there's a bunch of fat influencers that push this body positivity situation, and a bunch of them are dead now. No one talks about that. That didn't hit mainstream news.
So I'm in that space.
Yeah.
Which influencers are you talking about? Because
I don't recall their names, but there's a couple of them that passed away. They're YouTubers. They used to do these mukbangs where they'd eat a bunch of food on
Hey,
camera.
Mukbang
that's
is a
totally
total- okay,
different.
okay, but that's a
They're not
mukbang
a
is
part of our
different thing.
community. That's
Yeah.
a completely different thing. We're not saying we're gonna go to a restaurant and pig out just because it's entertaining or anything like that. There are people that they're called gainers, that their whole lifestyle, their fetish and things like that revolves around gaining weight.
Yeah, and I understand that you're
We
saying that that's
don't-
not a component to the
it's
body
not-
positivity movement, but
it's
you
not
got to
a part
understand
of
for the
it.
general masses, they're watching that, they're going to attribute it to that. They're not in the niche, they're not a creator, so they're not looking at it like, no, this person's just a gluttonous person. No, they look at everyone who's obese that's making content about being obese and continuing that lifestyle as a part of the body
But they're
positivity
not
movement.
making content about being obese. They're making content about overeating.
Yes, and they
Which is
also
also
encourage.
Yeah, overeating. How do you get obese from overeating? Guys are just trying to sound so sophisticated and shut up, mate. Eloquent. Shit.
That-
Eating disorder.
Yeah, and they also encourage being fat as well.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity, just flat out?
yes.
So just
agree.
us
Yeah,
exist.
100%, bro. Literally, yeah. Minorities and majorities, they exist in life because, the more there is of something, the more normalized it gets, the more people will become it. You're gonna feel more comfortable being fat if everyone's fat. The same way, if your whole friendship group is fat, you're gonna be comfortable being fat. But if all your friends are fit, they go gym, you're more likely to go to the gym because of what? You don't want to be in a minority. No one wants to be in a minority. I'm
thing.
telling you.
We're saying,
Yes.
yay, everyone go gain weight.
It absolutely has
Yes, if
impacts
everyone-
other people
if
to think,
everyone's
well,
gaining
think of it.
weight-
If 6 foot 6,
never
good looking,
looked
you're
at- I know,
modeling,
but I've
it's going to
never
encourage
looked
other
at-
people to, well, hey, look at him.
me
He's
be
got
six
lots
foot
So
of...
then what about when I
I've
go
never
to the
looked
gym?
at
When I step into the gym, or when Zach steps into the gym, or when any of us step into the gym, are we promoting being bigger like that too? Are we going there, and is our presence there unwanted?
By being famous, rich, popular, and being obese, you're indirectly promoting it in the same way that people who take steroids and are 350 pounds of muscle and winning Mr. Olympia are indirectly promoting it, even if they don't say they're taking it.
But I'm speaking more specifically in
Yeah,
the
that's
gym.
what I'm saying. And the same way, drill rappers acting cool, stabbing people, they're low-key promoting it. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, this is all of a different feather, bro.
In that space where people should be coming together to work on their bodies and stuff like that. If you saw us in the gym,
I would be happy and proud and excited, and my whole channel is about helping people who are overweight to lose weight and have realistic expectations. I would never say you have to look like this, you need abs. It's just, let's go halfway there. That's my entire channel, of which I have over 2 million followers. It's all about realistic goals of helping people who are overweight to lose weight. That is what my channel is all about.
but we're in public, and you made the statement that if we step out in public, that it would encourage people to live an unhealthy lifestyle.
The more friends
and
you
be
have who are
obese.
Like, the way he talks, yeah, he's very like cheeky. That's a good way to use it. He's very cheeky. I know what he's doing. He's provocative.
overweight, the more likely you're going to be overweight. It just happens to happen. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. If 90% of the world were overweight, more people would be encouraged to be overweight.
As just on this side, I don't
That's
think
what I
any
said.
of us have ever looked at a person heavier than ourselves and gone, I want to be that. That's a great thing to be. No, we have the same internal.
Yeah, you better shut up with the blue glasses. You ain't giving one good point, nodding and scratching your lame ass head. I'm on to you. You've been...
Biases as everybody else does. He was bringing up the gym before, and you said by existing just in a fat body, we are promoting it. Yes. I model, and when I do model fitness wear, which I do often, I get so many comments about like, oh,
You see how every one of his points always goes back to getting validated by other people. Like, he needs to get, he says, what he said earlier about when he became a model, girls were hitting him up and saying he's attractive. Do you not think yourself you're attractive? Why do you need that supporting evidence to believe it? Second of all, he's saying when I wore gym wear, people are saying da 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 da. He's always backing it up with validating points. That's another thing you gotta watch out as well. You gotta read people, bro.
You are promoting obesity. I'm wearing fitness wear. I'm in the gym. I'm doing the thing you want me to do, and I'm still promoting obesity?
If you're exercising and you're trying to lose weight, then you're promoting people who are overweight to try to lose weight. That's great. But if you're Lizzo and rubbing your belly...
I'm promoting... I mean, I don't know shit about Lizzo.
Specifically about influencers that promote...
Yeah, you better shut up. Why are you so obsessed? Shut up.
Gluttonous, lethargic lifestyles, which a bunch of them do. That's what we're talking about. If you're in the gym and you're fat and you're
Why does bro always look shocked? Like, look at him, bro.
lethargic lifestyles, which a bunch of them do. That's what we're talking about. If you're in the gym and you're fat and you're getting after and you're documenting that, that's fantastic.
But the point was body positivity, and you're talking about influencers who promote
Bro can't believe he even made the cast.
gluttonous lifestyles,
Yes.
and that again is not body positivity.
So that's why
The general masses don't have that distinction, though.
I do think we have a good read, though, on how each individual sees the body positivity movement. All right, the next prompt is, I am satisfied with my sex life. Agreeers, step forward. I have abused my body.
That's cheeky. That's cheeky little Patreon. Yeah. I've abused my body. Let's see this.
Will the agreeers step forward?
I'll start by saying I've abused my body many times. Being a bodybuilder, a professional bodybuilder, I've abused steroids, did that for over 10 years. I don't think you can get to the level that you have to get to be at to be a professional bodybuilder while being natural. And so absolutely, and I would say that somebody trying to abuse steroids to get that muscle, to get that look is just as unhealthy as somebody who's obese. So I don't try to be a hypocrite. I say I've done these poor choices. I'm 48 now, I don't do steroids anymore. And so I recognize that what I did in the past was bad, probably took years off my life. And so I would say to people who are overweight, why don't you do the same thing? And if you're not, then do you really care about your health? Because if you do, you would stop doing the things that are leading to being morbidly obese.
But then to your own argument, you spent 10 years doing something you knew was inherently unhealthy.
Correct.
But then you're going to turn around and tell people that they should just wake up. But
Yes,
why it took you
exactly.
10 years
Like people
to
should
wake
have
up.
told me, Greg.
Yeah, bro, what's his point though? Like, this nigga's like, I don't like his energy either. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, cool. If it took him 10 years. Bro, if it took me, let's say you're a drug addict and it took you 10 years to get off. If I see someone starting drugs in a month, I'm going to tell them to get off in the first month. Why are we giving everyone the same leeway I got? I didn't want to be on it for 10 years.
why do you keep doing this to yourself? You do not recognize what's going to happen, and if we call it shaming. Why are you abusing steroids, Greg? Think of it. Think of the years you're taking off your life. Maybe I would have waited.
But the power was in your own awakening, right? The power right there was in your own awakening to realize within yourself that you were doing something negative, and then you made the change for it, right? And that change is now consistent. That change is now something that you can give a testimony about and help other people change their ways or persuade people to just not do it at all, right?
But building on what you said, what was the moment, where the perspective shifted?
Well, I got old enough and realized I can't get any better at this. I can keep taking more and more drugs and try to sustain this, but I said, it's not worth it anymore. So I had to completely change my mind around what I was doing, which was being judged on my appearance. And remember, I make money on how I look, and so that's going to have a huge impact on me. And I had to say, I need to get my dopamine, my self-worth from something else. So I quit doing all the bodybuilding competitions, and I said, I'm going to start riding bikes. I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm going to do something else where I can feel good about myself. And it's hard. Like, look at this guy, 300 pounds of muscle. 20 years from now, is he going to want to still be this size? He might look back and say, I maybe regret certain things. And I think if somebody's overweight, they're going to think the same things. Like, if you're 400, 500, 600 pounds, you're going to think, is it worth doing this? Is it worth eating all the time? It's tough.
I think this is the first actual middle ground I think we're finding, which is really great because it's true. I mean, I've been harmful to myself on both sides of the spectrum. There were times I was taking, 20 to 30 diet pills and laxatives a day, eating less than 400 calories a day, working out nonstop. And then there's the other time.
Cap. Less than 400 calories is 3 eggs. How many calories is in 3 eggs? Let's check this. See, let's see, 288. So you're telling me you had roughly a little bit more, probably 3 eggs and a piece of bread a day. Cap.
Where I was eating way too much, smoking way too much, drinking way too much, and abusing my body in the other way. I think we all come to the realization of what we're doing is harmful in different ways at different times. Like, it took you 10 years to realize that was harmful. My thing is sometimes it takes people who might be overweight or, at that high tier, that 500-600 pounds, to realize that it's harmful for them. And maybe in their life, they don't feel like it's harmful. And they are happy. There are people, believe it or not, legitimately happy in certain sizes and
Ignorance
shapes.
is bliss. I was happy at the moment. I felt like it was.
But why is there bliss an issue?
Ignorance is bliss, but you could die before you wake up.
Buddy said, why is bliss being an issue? It just sums up the IQ level.
But why is there bliss an issue?
Ignorance is bliss, but you could die before you wake up.
You could have done the same thing taking steroids. That's
exactly.
my
I could have died doing what I did, and so is it not my responsibility to tell people, don't copy me, and so it did not be somebody who...
I said this, chat.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with
that.
that.
I literally said this.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Even when you said before, you're like, well, I wish someone had shamed me saying, what are you going to do? You're going to kill yourself. That's not shaming to me. To me, that is compassionate and looking out for somebody. It's when you take it to the other level where you start insulting them, degrading them, making them feel like shit.
As men, we insult each other and shame each other, but it's as a friend. Like, this is what guys do. Girls don't do it. They all suck up to each other. You're all tens. Guys are like, look at your gut, look at your belly.
Stop saying what girls do.
I know, that's what no, it's important to
I'm telling you what they do.
The masculine from the feminine, because it's guys talking here, and I think it's important to distinguish when something is feminine to say, well, we don't adhere to that over here.
Yeah, but there's been no shortage of generalizations on women in this episode so far, and I'm really, really curious about your answer to this prompt regarding self-abuse, bodily abuse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a lifetime natural. I've never taken a drug before in my life. However, I was an athlete in college, and obviously when you're a Division I athlete, you're training 2 to 3 times a day. It was very, very intensive. I would train through injuries, which wasn't intelligent, but at the end of the day, I looked at it like, hey, we got to win. We got, some teams to beat this season, so it built a mental fortitude. I think abuse is good to a degree if you're able to overcome it and learn something from it.
I did a lot of stupid things. Like I broke the world record in the bench press, and now I can't bench press anymore. And it was my favorite lift. I've had hip operations. I have both elbows reconstructed. I trained too hard. I couldn't stop myself. All that pressure, desire, whether it was installed by myself or from others, to try to fit in, to be socially accepted. And I was addicted. I was bench pressing with shoulder pain. I should have stopped. I couldn't. And so, I set the record and it's done. I can't even lift anymore. I don't squat, bench, or deadlift, because look at Ronnie Coleman. You guys know Ronnie Coleman? He's in a wheelchair, he can hardly walk, he's in pain medications, and imagine putting your body through all that torture, and then you get in your 60 and now you can't do anything.
So one question I have for you then is, knowing what you did obviously has allowed you to create this platform to speak to these things, to talk about steroid abuse. You understand all the intricacies. Do you think that you would have been able to do that, let's say, if you'd kept your natural status throughout your whole career, you didn't break world records, you weren't an IFBB pro, you didn't have all of those accolades to stand on? Do you think you would still be Greg Doucette and have all the following you do?
I do not think so. I think I'm one of those 1 in a million cases that was able to do what I do and actually got the success that I got. But if I look back and I'm really honest with myself, I regret doing these things. I was natural world champion and I was breaking world records natural, so I had the records, but I wanted more. I wanted more glory. I wanted more people to say, you're cool, we like you. And so I ended up taking steroids. I did that because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be sponsored.
One thing I read about him is he's got a sense of vulnerability. That's very rare. That's a good trait to have, you know, a sense of vulnerability. That's a big trait.
I wanted a pro card. I wanted to be famous. And it worked. At what cost, though? How healthy am I really?
Everything it is that you're saying, right? I don't feel any ounce of like shaming you for it. I think everything that you said is really important, to acknowledge that and to know that and to then share that, right? But the difference is that like, had someone shamed you, I don't think that you'd feel the same way about it. Instead, people poured life into you and told you like, hey, I don't think that this is right. I don't think that you should really keep doing this because it's doing more harm.
The opposite happened. I was rewarded. When I started getting popular on social media, I was talking about my steroid cycles, I was talking about what I've done, and they're like, look at your muscles, look at your chest, and it was like, do you know how hard it was to stop? Because I was being rewarded with dopamine, with people saying nice things about me all the time, and for me to stop, I know that my views on social media go down. If I went on a steroid cycle right now, people are gonna fall, wow, Coach Greg, you're back, we miss the old Coach Greg. And so it's hard for me to be the 48-year-old old man that's still preaching fitness when they say, we love the old Coach Greg, the jacked muscle freak. And I have to fight the urges not to use steroids every single day.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like people get into YouTube for a freedom, let's say, yeah. But once your supporters, etc., are controlling what you post and what you do, like, do you really have that sense of freedom? That's one thing you got to think about. Like, remember what you got in the game for. Like, people start making music, their fans dictate the music they post, then they don't start enjoying the music, then the label's taking over. Like, remember why you got into the game. Like, remember why you dropped out of college or whatever. You dropped out of college, uni, for the freedom. Like, don't let your fan base control what you're doing, control what you're saying. Like, just do you. End of the day, as long as you're happy, that's what matters. Because when you turn off that screen, when you turn off your phone, like, it's you got to deal with. Like, if you ain't happy with yourself, you can't lie to yourself. That's one thing you can't do in this life. In this life, you cannot lie to yourself. It's impossible. It's possible.
Because I know I would look better. I know I would feel better. But I'm like, it's not healthy. And so I have to say no.
I get what you mean about the dopamine reward thing, because for me, I have a similar situation, but kind of in the opposite way. Every time I start slimming down, I start getting the, what are you doing? Why are you losing weight? Because I am in that large guy space. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's very funny how much on both sides, outward opinions just like really, really just make what we do hard. I know that when I am doing more cardio and like I'm a big hiker and biker, and sometimes in the summer I'll slim down, but then all of a sudden I'll get a ton of comments from people just being like, we liked you heavier, we liked you this. I'll have clients that'll stop you.
Like, you can't be a slave to the content, and you can't be a slave to your fan base. Like, if your fan base love you for you, like, whatever you do, they'll be on to you. They'll show you love or be real.
Doesn't make, because I've gotten too small. And so you're kind of seeking that dopamine, that approval, also that career boost. You get stuck in this loop of doing things that you know aren't good for yourself.
I wanted to hear from you, just going back to the prompt, why you came forward.
Oh, I mean, I think obviously professional bodybuilding has its risks. Obviously, I try to mitigate them as much as possible. I work with a company that I'm doing blood work through, quarterly, every 3 months. I am very, very methodical with what I do, and I'm very, very on the mild side. You would be surprised, but I've been training for 20 plus years. I think that's the key for me. I would say, like, being in the size, 100% not healthy. Is it unfortunate that I am very passionate about something that is bodybuilding? Yeah, it's kind of like I fell into it. I love it. It's hard for me, but I made a decision with my wife that at age 35, that's it. I'm done. Like, no more competitive bodybuilding.
Wait, so if he ain't 35 now, when did he start gym? Cool. Gym opens at 16, right? 20 years from 16 is 36. He's saying he's already 20 years deep. Nigga don't look 30. He's probably like 30. What, did he start gym when he's 12? I'm calling cap. I'm telling you, a lot of these people are just capping.
I have an understanding, but like Greg, I have the foresight to know like there has to be a limit to it, because if you just let it go, I would have to be probably 25 more pounds of muscle and like have to do things that I'm not willing to do in order to be like, let's say Mr. Olympia, right? So, because all the way through my 20s, I was closer to like 230 pounds, natural all the way until I was like 27 and a half. So hopefully I'll be okay going back to that size.
Do you use steroids currently?
I mean, I use...
I think
that's the biggest insult in the world right now.
No. I only ask because, again, we're on the topic of body abuse, right? So I'm only asking that in that realm because of what you said about it. I'm not asking that
No,
as
it's kind of like, it's just like when
like
you're
that.
jacked like that and you say, do you use steroids? It's like, you think you can look like this natural? Like, if I said, hey, are you on steroids? Look at that body. Like, if I said to you, you look like you're on steroids.
Yeah, people think you're on gear, it's a compliment.
If I said, obviously you're natural, it'd be like, what do you mean, obviously? There's no obvious
So
to
yes,
this.
I'm enhanced.
Okay. It's literally just like a question that I have, but it's also just like, well, what do you do as you're progressing in that to get to the points that you want? So that's where that question stems from.
Are you using steroids to someone that's natural as a compliment there, can't I?
And I also really appreciate your candor.
Well, if you know you're not,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I will
You might
100%
take it to
say
heart.
like,
because it's low-key backhanded, because if you actually are on it, it's like, oh, you wouldn't be that big if you weren't. It's the same way like niggas be like, oh, you're brother because you're black. Genetics, cool. It's kind of backhanded because you're kind of saying I'm not putting in the work. Like, nigga, I'm putting in the work, bro. Whatever.
best shape of my life was natural in my 20s, like very lean, probably my healthiest. Like if anybody tells you they're like an IFBB professional bodybuilder, it's almost 99% of them are in some capacity enhanced. It might be very minimally, it might be through the roof, like you wouldn't even believe what they're taking, but it's there. It's part of the sport. It's unfortunate, but like that's the problem. That's one of the problems we talked about earlier with the fitness industry, is like that's the expectation.
Let's bring our disagreeer.
Hey! Good job not abusing yourself.
Yeah, so I took abuse as like doing things that's negative for your health. And for me, I've always approached fitness from a health kind of lens, right? Like Myron, I'm 100% natural. I'm never gonna look like Eric, I'm never gonna look like Greg, but it's something I'm content with, right? For me, I'm kind of in for the long term. I wanna be able to do what I do when I'm 60, 70, 80, 100. Focusing more on the health aspect of it can be a good middle ground, because I feel like if you're looking from the outside in, sometimes can be like, dude, how am I gonna look like Eric? Like, how is this ever gonna happen, right? But you know, people have different goals, I would say, within fitness, and yeah.
I think it's important to also acknowledge that like there's abuse on both spectrums, right? Like you can be a fat ass on one end and say, I'm gonna just continue to eat cheeseburgers and put on TikTok. And then there's the other side where you can, use performance enhancing drugs and say, I'm gonna step on stage. But I would make the argument that the person that is training, using PEDs, etc., I'd respect that individual more than the fat ass. And the reason why is because though it isn't healthy to be on performance enhancing drugs, you're still pushing your body to a level that most can't, versus by just being fat, that doesn't take any skill or dedication.
That's
so
true.
What if
I
the
had
fat
to,
person is doing something like, maybe they're into quantum physics, maybe they're changing the way we view the world entirely. Are they not valuable because they're not shredded?
well, again, we're talking about the purpose of, abusing your body.
Yeah.
I'd have more respect for the bodybuilders, my point.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
And I think society would in large as well, which is why bodybuilders that, like a Ronnie Coleman, et cetera, though he is disabled now, et cetera, he's a legend and he's gonna go down in history.
Yeah, but I actually thought that was a good question, like what a great film director who's like very overweight and like just totally poured into their craft, like is there respect for someone like that?
Well, that's great because he's able to do something exceptional, right? And he's able to diversify himself from the general masses,
question.
right? But will people know that when they meet him, that he's a famous director, unless he's very prominent? But yeah, there's exceptional people that are fat in certain regards, but we're talking about body abuse here. I'm just saying in general, I would have far more respect for the professional bodybuilder that's
Than
using
like
PEDs.
Peter Jackson
But then
versus
there's
making
nothing-
multiple
there's
like
nothing
award-winning films.
Was that-
There's
Lord of the
nothing
Rings.
exceptional happening.
But some guy like taking PEDs is
Okay,
better
there's two
than
different
that?
things. Sorry. What-
No, sorry. I'm legitimately curious.
Yeah.
You have guy using PEDs on one side trying to do stuff, and then you do have like Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings,
well, that's
multi-Academy
why I was
Award
very
winner.
Yeah, nah, this is what I'm saying. They're getting them out of context. They're trying to do my boy dirty. He said that, quote, on face value, unless he's a predominant film actor, film actress, you don't know who the hell they are. Unless you know who they are. If you know who they are, obviously you're going to treat the guy with da-da-da who's got accolades with more respect than the guy that's just trying PEDs. He's saying on a general stance, he's going to respect the person who's trying to do something with their life than a fat ass. That's literally his point. This nigga bringing up Lord of the Rings, etc., director. You could do that by anyone. Do you know how many fat people are doing a lot of their life, that are doing well for themselves, that are doing good in life? Like, you can just, like, these are just hypotheticals of help.
Explicit to say I'm talking about the fat influencers.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
I'm
okay,
talking in that
fat,
context.
yeah.
Like if
Maybe
you're gonna have
okay,
abuse of your
maybe I missed
body
that.
on two different ends, right? One extreme is a bodybuilder, the other is a fat influencer. I think me and most of society would have far more respect for the
I think he's going to
bodybuilder.
respect
I
a
think-
hardworking billionaire.
I understand that, but I also think that like if someone's abusing themselves in any way, there should be some empathy and like rather than just being like you're a better abuser to yourself than that person.
Fitness culture can be toxic.
100%.
Agree or step forward?
100% it can.
Here we all are again.
Hey,
Let's hear from the jacked guys.
100%. I think you can perpetuate so many themes that are so unhealthy. Like there's so many images online of people that post in like the best lighting with a pump. That is the societal norm of like what's good, and it even like affects me because I'll see people and I'm like, oh, I look like garbage compared to that. I think that right now it's like there's a lot of misinformation
shock.
online when it.
You better chill out. Look at him smiling, bro. He
I
love
think that right now it's like there's a lot
you
of
better close that mouth.
misinformation online
Lame
when it
ass.
comes to like how to get fit, how to stay in shape, and a lot of people are monetizing it. These like crazy fad diets, like you can't eat certain things, carbs are bad. Fruit has sugar in it, so it's gonna make you fat. So like now food is almost being weaponized. And then to be monetized so that you buy their ebook to tell you the exact secret, code in order to lose weight. So fitness is an industry, right? So people are incentivized to say whatever that is to make money. And so it's been harder for me.
Did I not say this earlier? Everything's a business. You got to start looking at stuff for what it is, not for what it could be.
As a coach that takes a more holistic approach to wellness and fitness and saying, hey, it's all about balance. And like Greg's the same way. I know I felt like, I watch a lot of his videos. That is the correct approach to like making a plan that's not super restrictive. So I think that's why, the fitness industry, even being part of it, like is frustrating because there's so much misinformation.
I would say also that there's so much pressure to look like us, and it's causing people to develop body dysmorphia. And so this is a huge problem. So when you swipe on Instagram, you're being shown the top 1% of the top 1%. They all have a six-pack abdominals. Everyone feels inferior. There's pressure. Then that causes a whole host of problems, eating disorders, people feeling like shit. They don't like the way they look in the mirror. And then they keep looking for information. And then what information they're getting, half of it's wrong, like you were just describing. And so where do we go from there? There's no solution.
I think the issue comes from the misinformation, just the lack of keeping things simple. But we like to have fad diets, go paleo, go vegan, go whatever it may be. And it's like, the reality is the best diet is the one that you can adhere to. And I think we need to let people understand that fitness is a lot more sustainable and easier than people think it is, which is why I make fun of fat people so much, because it really is simple and it comes down to numbers and tracking your calories and being disciplined and going to the gym. This is why I have no sympathy for fat people, because it really is simple.
But that right there is what keeps guys like us out of getting into fitness.
Shouldn't it do the opposite though?
No, no one
How
wants to
come?
be told they're a piece of
If
shit.
I was being
Like,
made
why
fun
do
of
I-
all the time for being
Nah, that's what I'm saying. I think different people react differently. Like me personally, that's why a lot of people used to hate Andrew Tate, etc. Because he'll be like, yeah, you're broke, go get your money up, etc. That's what he's saying, short. Niggas like me, I hear that shit, I'm like, yo, I need to get on my Zoom. But I don't know, some people are sensitive. They want to be told, it's alright, it's fine. People like that don't grow up, bro. You need to hear it for what it is, not what it could be. Like, I'm gonna keep telling you, man, that. But nah, people want it soft. Like, just give it to you straight. say I'm a fat shit. If someone told me I'm a fat shit, I'm gonna be like, shit, let me look at myself. Damn, I need to reassess. Let me go and change it.
Sure,
Change
I
works.
wear
I need to
shoeless.
change
Let
it.
me
It's not
explain.
where I
Let me
want to
explain
be.
this, like,
I need to change
shaming
it.
rarely
Only
works,
you
and,
can change it.
and I'll
That's
bring
the
this
fun
back
bit
to
about
somebody I
life.
follow, and I appreciate their content. This guy named Alex Ramosi, and he does a value equation, and on the top side of that equation, you have the perceived value of whatever you're trying to achieve, plus the perceived chance of success. So how likely are you to, achieve said result? And on the bottom side of the equation, you divide by time, and you divide by effort. Shaming doesn't work because the value equation is driven by those things. So what I think we need to do on this side of the table is to make those things more accessible. Like you said, providing more value-driven information of like how to achieve a calorie deficit in a more sustainable way. How do you make it so it's not so much time? Because so many people waste time, let's say, doing so much excess cardio where strength training should be the main component. So like that's why I think adding value and decreasing time and decreasing the amount of effort is going to give you guys so much more emphasis or ability to achieve the result and more motivation to achieve said result than being like, oh, you're fat, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So that's just my
Well,
take
it's
on
because
it.
the fitness industry overcomplicates it so that they can monetize it. So if
So
they
why-
tell
is
you,
that
oh,
their
I got
fault?
the secret sauce. Well, this is why it's important to acquire knowledge and be able to, whether you go ahead and do your own research. And again, it comes back to doing the work, and people get so mad, like, oh, why is this hard? Do your research, look at the studies. There's so much fitness studies out there. There's no secrets. It's just discipline and sustainability
Have you
over a
guys
period
have
of
you
time.
guys ever been confused about how to get and stay in shape based on the information that's out there?
Totally. I would never, ever take advice from you. To get that advice or to gain that knowledge because of whatever this disposition it is that you have going on, right?
What's the disposition?
I mean,
Can you describe it?
I mean,
I think I just keep it real.
I don't. I wouldn't
that's
even
fine.
enable it toxic, but I think it's like you have this perspective about the world around you.
I think you're just
that
extreme.
I think is kind of really warped, and I don't understand why. And I would like to understand why. And I'm not getting it because you're like shame is the answer and stuff like that. But
It's worked for
not.
centuries.
It's not though. It's why you have so much conflict. It's why we're literally sitting here today having this discussion.
So here's the thing. You operate on what's ideal. I operate on what's real. And the reality is
what's
that the world is a
real,
much
though?
colder and harder place than you think it is, but you want to, people to just understand you and see your perspective and see you as how you see yourself. The reality is
that's
the
real.
world's never going to see you how you see yourself. They're going to see you on how you display yourself to them. And when you are fat, out of shape, etc., the people, and if they don't get to know you and talk to you and have a conversation with you, they're going to assume certain things. That's just the world that we live in.
Just to dig a little deeper into that,
100%,
has
I
something
agree with that
happened
point.
to you to confirm that observation that you have?
No, I mean, I just live in objective reality, and objective reality isn't as nice as you think it is.
So you're not drawing from a personal experience at all?
No, I'm speaking fairly objectively that these are the conversations that people have behind closed doors, but they don't want to say out loud because for fear of cancellation, for fear of coming off as an asshole, etc. I'm just saying how people really feel, but they're scared to say it.
Coming from whether the fitness space can be toxic or not, the shame attitude has kept a lot of people out of it. I've been doing fad diets since I was 12 years old. I was put on Weight Watchers. I did Atkins. I did paleo. I did everything you could possibly imagine. And not until I started following other influencers that were more proactive based on, I want to be around for my daughter for as long as I possibly can be. I want to give my body the function it needs. Like just that basic mind shift, hey, life can get a lot better if you do kind of focus on your health a little more. Instead of, you're a fat piece of shit, you need to change. To me, I don't know everyone in the fitness industry, but I know for me personally, it totally changed my relationship with fitness when I started realizing that it was a gross benefit instead of a punishment I had to put onto myself for not being disciplined enough. For people like you to maybe respect me, who, again, we don't know each other in reality. So why am I destroying my life so you will respect me one day?
Well, going to the gym and training isn't going to destroy your life.
And it doesn't.
It's going to enhance it if anything.
But I'm saying,
it's going to enhance
but
it.
yeah, I do that. And I'm saying it wasn't until someone told me about those enhancements and kind of approached it with more of an empathetic way of being that it seemed attractive to me at all to be a part of it.
Does anyone here respond positively to shame?
No.
I think in some ways, I feel like a lot of us can relate to this. Like when we were younger, if I wouldn't say it was shame, but I wasn't necessarily like happy with the way I look, and that kind of motivated me to get into fitness in the first place, right? And we're talking this was like in high school, so I think to some degree, shame that's not put on by others could be helpful, right? It has to be something within yourself that can motivate you.
I'll speak on the shame thing too, because the shame that I guess embodied came from myself. So when I was on my weight loss journey and I was like losing weight, the day that I weigh in and it was like the scale read 1 pound over, like I would take those pills that make you shit, literally, to like lose that extra pound to see. Like, so
Yeah, but that's
going
your
back
own
to the
problem
toxic
of yourself,
situation,
like, you're not confident.
that's where I got fucked up, because I would do things in response to me not getting that positive stimulus to hurt myself ultimately. Do I have therapy now? Yeah. Because it's like, it's a double-edged sword for sure.
I think shame is good. I think it's a very natural response to inadequacy, and it tells people that, hey, maybe I need to change. Like being bullied as a man, being shamed, it's a good
lot
thing
of things in
because it
life are
stimulates you to
indication,
change and make a better difference most of the time.
But some people don't respond. Like some people, when they get shamed, they get shut down, and now they proceed further into that negative, behavior, because it's not something, as Zach and everybody else was mentioning, that's what's positive.
That's a part of the masculine journey, is overcoming adversity.
It's not a talk on masculinity, bro. It's
and
just
not
like
being a pussy and being like, okay,
man.
I'm going to prove you
Shock
wrong.
season,
And this is
man.
the thing, it makes
Don't
or
get
breaks
eaten
you.
up.
Not everyone's going to win. We need winners and we need losers. The losers are the ones that shut down like, oh, I'm sad now. I'm going to continue eating ice cream.
that's
Okay,
definitely
you're a fucking loser.
mentality.
Stay over there. But there's guys that rise up to the challenge and say, you know what, I'm going to do better. I'm going to fucking surpass you. And that's where guys need to be. You need that killer instinct where you use that as fuel. It's up to you how you want to do it.
Isn't the goal of the fitness industry to get people more fit?
Of course.
Is that the blanket goal?
Of course.
And we're saying shame and calling me a piece of shit doesn't motivate me to get more fit.
Well, we need winners and losers.
No,
We need winners and losers.
The industry
Like there's
is
going to
the
be
one
inevitably
catering
there's
to
going
the
to be
people,
losers. If you
correct?
don't respond favorably to shame and bullying, etc., and you don't overcome it, you're effectively a loser.
Let's be clear though. You just said the right word. Fitness industry. It is a industry.
Yeah.
It is to make money. It's not necessarily to get people into shape. It's to make money. So sure, there's gonna be junctions along the way. Like I'm a coach. There has to be tough love. Like if you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing, I have to be a little bit harder on you. But that's not gonna start your journey. Me being like, you're a fat piece of shit. Whereas like if we get into it and we're 3 months in and you're not making progress because there's a lot of things you're not doing that we're coaching you on, then of course there's gonna be some tough love. There's gonna be some extra accountability. But I think there's a difference between accountability and tough love than just like shaming somebody into doing something, because that's not gonna create that like long-term ability to obviously achieve it on their own.
But Myron would prefer, you would prefer
Shaming is a component to get people to
Yeah,
be.
I think it generally depends how you're brought up, and I feel like more people of color are more likely to be more fired up from that type of like reaction, because obviously like when growing up like as a person of color, like you're used to your parents being like, you're not fucking doing enough, like you're used to it, like that doesn't really like upset you. It may upset you a little bit, but it'll make you be like, okay, cool, maybe there's a it's coming from a point of love. That's what I'm trying to say. But obviously, it depends how you grow up. It depends the environment you've been brought up in. And most of the people here have probably been brought up in a household where their mummy's like, everything's going to be okay, everything's fine, you're good as you are, you're beautiful as you are, that shit. They haven't been given the real. A lot of people haven't given the real. And then they step into the real world and they're like, shit, it ain't all sunshine and roses. I'm saying now.
Be accountable.
We all just want to know when shame motivated you to be better.
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm speaking in general here as far as like
but don't
shame
speak
working.
general.
But
Speak for yourself, personally. When
See-
did shame change your life?
Oh, well, here's the thing. I think every man growing up has been shamed to some degree where they're like, you know what, I need to improve this. Whether they grew up skinny.
No, you
though.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was skinny, right? And then I got picked on. And I was like, okay, I'm either going to let this define me or I'm going to overcome. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym and start training.
But does it work in any other interpersonal relationship? Like, have your parents ever shamed you, come down on you, made you feel like shit?
Absolutely.
But did you deserve all of it, 100% of it?
Absolutely, they shame me, and I think that's fantastic. And I think that's a part of your parents' job is to shame you for your fuck-ups.
What about people in abusive relationships or with abusive parents who are now in no contact situations or anything like that? Not me. I love my folks. They're great.
Yeah.
But like, just for the TV record,
Yeah.
in case they watch it. Like, but I know a lot of people who
There's
are
always
on
a
like
line.
no
There's
contact.
always a line. But
So that's all I'm saying is in the industry.
Yeah, but this is like
the fitness.
I clocked with his whole jig. Yeah, he'll be saying shit. He's trying to throw something in the air, but like this is completely obvious. This is like the same equivalent of people posting on their story, I want a man that will treat me well. Who the fuck doesn't? I want a man that will show me attention. Who the fuck wouldn't? I want a, like, bro, would you love your parents if they abused you to the point of no return? Nigga, what the fuck is that, bro? Like, guys are like saying the obvious, but like trying to frame it in a way where they're trying to be articulate. Nigga, just shut up.
No
there's
contact.
always a line. But
So that's all I'm saying is in the in the fitness world, I would rather be with someone who's trying to uplift me, trying to get me to improve, hold me accountable. Tough love, absolutely, I think is important.
Yeah.
There's a total difference between tough love and shame.
Absolutely.
shame is a component of tough love.
Shame is only done with the intent to hurt somebody, not to uplift them.
We got to reset.
You gotta reset. That's fine.
I would not like to be on the other side. If that's true for you, come forward.
I'm very medium on this.
When I was in high school, they do your graduation photos, and they had a saying, and my saying was, my worst nightmare would be if I gained 10 pounds of fat. Literally, grade 12, I remember it clear as day. I was already a competitive bodybuilder, and so to imagine being 100 or 200 pounds overweight when I strived my whole life to look kind of like this, I just couldn't imagine it. It would be a nightmare for me.
I agree. From like a health perspective, like being overweight or obese like, puts you at a higher risk of developing chronic illnesses, and I think I wouldn't want to be in that position. And if I was in that position, I would do what I can in order to get to a healthier weight.
Okay, so I just want to make sure everyone gets to say their piece before I go. I mean, yeah, it's completely unacceptable to be fat as a man. It's completely unacceptable. It's just so many problems with it. I've been fat, I've been skinny, and I've been in shape, and I will pick being in shape every single time. Just like if you ask someone that's rich versus someone that's poor, they will pick being rich every single time. And the thing is that most fat people, not all, but most, have never even seen their abs. They've never seen what their body is capable of. They've never been actually happy with their physique.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. That a lot of people that lose weight, they glow up, yeah. But I genuinely think a lot of people do have a good, people have a good structure, like a good place to sculpt from. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you'll never know your full potential until you lose that weight. You know what I'm saying.
And once you get that taste, you're never going to want to go back. And then on top of that, you're going to want to go ahead and tell all those fat asses that you were once friends with, you need to get in shape. This is awesome. But the reality is we live in this crazy world where we coddle fat people, we coddle idiots, we coddle morons, and we don't hold anybody accountable, and we allow mediocrity to strive in the West. And I think we need to go back to shaming fat people. We need to go back to making fun of them. I mean, if I was president, hell, I'd put all of them in a fat concentration camp so they can concentrate on dieting and exercising because being fat is completely not acceptable.
Chat, that is OC. I do not agree with that.
Back in shape. Because what people don't also understand is that fat people bring a big burden on the healthcare system. Obesity, diabetes, heart disease, etc. It's a big problem.
Do you really mean that, or are you just saying that?
I'm dead ass. Yeah, if I was president, make me president, I would get rid of the obesity problem like that. I find it interesting that they can lock us up in their homes for almost 2 years saying wear a mask, etc. But then I say, I'm gonna lock these dudes up in a concentration camp where we're gonna get them healthy food, we're gonna get them exercising, and I'm looked at as crazy.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I guess there's a distinction between having opinions about how COVID was handled and genuinely believing that all fat people should be in a concentration camp.
Yes, a concentration camp. Let me be clear. I'm talking about a concentration camp where they're concentrating on diet and exercise.
So I wouldn't necessarily want to go from one extreme to another. I also would not want to be.
Chat, what we call that one is overwhooping. That is overwhooping.
Spewing out stuff just to hopefully get a viral clip.
So if you could snap your fingers and look like any of us, would you not do it? Like, would it not be worth it?
I probably choose to look like Tyler. I want to go to a place where it's comfortable and it's healthy all around. I'm not doing things that could negatively impact me in a way to get to a place like that. Like, I've gone through that. I've gone through having eating disorders from chewing gum and drinking water and starving myself in different ways to achieve something. Like when I was dancing, my dance teacher blatantly told me, if you don't lose a certain amount of weight, I'm kicking you out of the showcase. So what did I do? I resorted to everything that I could possibly do to cut pounds like crazy. And it wasn't sustainable. It really screwed with me mentally, but I was doing it. And of course, like in the moment, it sort of felt good, but then I fainted in class one time. And that really, really sucked.
So I feel like he would switch sides if it meant doing it naturally. Like he's obviously natural,
like,
natural.
That's what I'm saying.
Obviously not.
I would switch sides if it meant that I could do it in a healthy way. And I mean, obviously, like I expressed it, I'm working on that. And I'm not saying that what you did was wrong. I really applaud the fact that you're saying to people like, hey, this was what my journey was, this is what it took, but I really don't advise that.
Okay, so here's the thing, man. Like, excellence and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to be an anomaly and you want to be the trendsetter, you want to be the top guy, you got to be able to be comfortable being uncomfortable. As far as like weight loss, because you said I'm just saying things to get a viral clip, how would you deal with the obesity problem?
Like I said, pouring life into people. How am I dealing with it? I'm sharing what it's taking me.
Explain what pouring life is. Like, what would that actually look like?
As someone who creates content online, I share what it is that I do in the gym. I share my routine. I talk about like, hey, today was a shit day, but guess what? I pushed past that and I just benched 405. That's more than I weigh. When I want to hang out with friends, if I know that my schedule does not allot me that time, but I know that I have this time during the gym, I'll tell my friends like, hey, pull up with me.
So you're inspiring others?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what if I told you at the camp, everyone's exercising together and they're inspiring each other?
But
Same thing.
You approached it at such a negative way.
Nah, you know, Myron knows what he's doing. He's like Andrew Tate. Like, them niggas just be saying the most extreme shit. But like, the point's good, but they just say it to the extreme. Like, they both have the same point. He knows how to be provocative, the guy on the left, Myron.
Like, you approached it from a place
See
of
the
shame.
little like
and,
snigger, that would
most of us
piss
have
me
blatantly told you that shame didn't really
So
work.
provocative, bro. I
Shame
promise you.
is what led me to an eating disorder. Shame is what led me to unsustainable weight loss.
Whose fault
when
is that,
what
though?
we're looking for is
Whose fault is that?
stability.
Whose fault is that you
that's-
decided to go
So-
an unsustainable route?
Chat, this
with
video is
diet?
so
Whose fault?
So if I was given a timeline that I needed to meet and I'm trying to figure out without also having the tools to do so the proper way, and I'm just grasping at straws on how I do it, yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, so whose fault is it that they chose an unsustainable route to lose weight? It's your fault.
It's
See, the
an
problem is that you're a
amalgamation.
professional victim. I don't know if you've caught on to this, but you're a professional victim. You constantly blame others for your inadequacies and why you're fat. The reason why you're fat.
I haven't blamed not one person for where I am.
Yeah, because you're always like, oh, but it's tough and all this other stuff. The reality is this, man.
Wait,
you eat too much
I'm
and you don't
trying to
exercise
figure out
enough.
where these
And that's
misconceptions
why
about me are.
Again,
This is so OC.
you can say whatever you want to say.
I do want to press.
and here's
like I
wanna
said, I
press-
called you
and
out
here-
on
here's
it,
the-
and I said
here's the
you're
thing.
press pause.
And this is
searching
how
for
fat
a
people
viral
think.
clip. You're
Everyone
searching for a
has an
viral clip,
excuse for
and
why
I
they're
think
fat.
that it's really sad.
And they can't
Okay.
take
I think
accountability
it's
for
really,
why they're fat.
really sad.
We got to pause. Let's bring in our disagreeers.
You guys were arguing so much, I forgot the prompt. What was the prompt again?
It was I don't want to be on the other side.
Oh, okay.
No, of course I would. I'm a curious person. I have been in much more traditional, like aesthetically pleasing shape in my past, but I've never gotten to like your guys' standards. And of course, I'm curious about anyone's life, like what it's like to walk through their shoes. So I don't see why I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I
That'd be
actually
open-minded.
chose if I could, I'd switch. So when I was my lightest weight, which was 273, I wasn't anywhere near you guys, but I had muscles. I felt really good about myself. And now that I've fallen back, I literally like almost hate life because I got somewhere, got really close, and it was out of reach. And now I'm falling back, and I got to fight again.
Get back on,
So if I
big back.
could, I'd absolutely would switch.
Big back, get back on, bro.
Like, I don't understand, like, you were 273 feeling great. How
Yeah.
did you get back? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah,
genuinely curious.
no, absolutely.
How does that happen?
So when I started my weight loss journey, I was very focused. Like, I can't take any outside help. Like, I gotta do this on my own. I did all the research myself. So my problem was when I would hit plateaus, it hit hard because I'm like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Why am I cutting weight? So eventually I hit enough plateaus to where like my mentality was just breaking down.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with the prompt just saying like, I probably wouldn't go
Yeah, just shut up. Yeah, boy, just shut up, nigga.
extreme like on your side of the spectrum, so that kind of stuff. but I would like to look like Tyler.
Everyone wants to look like Tyler.
Tyler is the ideal for me of what I want to look like.
I was a little kid,
I mean,
bro.
I
You know my learn.
wouldn't be that short too, but
I think, look, I'm just gonna say it, the
That's
elephant in
a
the room.
low
Every
blow.
fat person would want to be in shape. The problem is that they're not willing to do what's required to get in shape, hence why they are fat.
It's abundantly clear what you think. Like we've got
lie.
it. We've
Kudos
got
to
it.
you.
It's a lie.
The next prompt is your physique is in your control.
I forgot to say, Crocs with jeans is dumb as shit for. Dumb as shit. With the green
Any
socks,
agreeers, please step forward.
dumb as hell, bro. What was the question?
So long story
I got
short-
distracted by the green socks.
In your control.
Your physique is in your. Of course it is, bro.
Can the
Who else
agreeers please
controls
step
it in,
forward?
bro?
So long story short, in 2018, I got to my heaviest weight, which was 441 pounds, and I was depressed as I'm not gonna cuss, but
You can say it.
I was depressed as fuck, man. Like it was really hard. My weight had built like a cage around my mind, so even things that I knew were good for me, I couldn't even like go for it because my mentality was just so messed up. And it got to the point to where I had someone tell me like, dude, you're gonna die, and that hurt, you know. And I just flip things around. And I think one thing we haven't mentioned is accountability. I think that's the biggest thing. When I was growing up, my weight was always blamed on someone else. I was like, oh, it's my parents feeding me too much. And it's like, you can close your mouth. Like, I don't have to eat, you know? But when I finally made that change in my head, I realized that where you're at, given like the ideal circumstances, it is your choice. I am where I'm at now because I made a series of wrong choices and didn't handle myself correctly.
That's the good
I
thing
mean, you
about
deserve
it.
to be depressed if you're fat. I mean, the reality is that, see, depression is a very healthy response to inadequacy.
Bumbleclaw. That man said he depressed. Alright, let's hear his point, because he normally has a good point. He just extreme with it, chat. Like, we just know he goes all blitz and bananas with it, but behind it, there's a message. Let's hear it out.
Fat. I mean, the reality is that, see, depression is a very healthy response to inadequacy. When you're a man, you got to go out there and produce. We're not women where we can just coast on our looks and make it through life. As a man, you must produce
I gotta cut you off, bro, because no one deserves to be like, people die from that shit, bro. Like, no one deserves to be depressed.
Let me finish. The reason why you feel depressed, and it's a healthy response to you being fat, is because it's your body telling you, like, wow, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's a quote that literally says, yeah, are you depressed or is your life miserable? That's what I'm saying, chat. Like, are you depressed or is your life miserable? A lot of people are getting them two confused. Think about it, bro. Your body is giving you a direct, like, indication of what you need to do. Like, I kind of agree, but you know him, he's extreme with it.
You need to fix this. You're sad because you're not going out there and accomplishing what you're supposed
It's
to do.
true, though.
It's your masculine duty to make money.
You can't
to
lie
be
to
successful,
yourself.
to lose weight, to be strong and fit, so that you can protect and provide for the people that you love. And when you're not able to do that, you get depressed and you get sad, rightfully so, because you're a fuck up.
Have you
That is why.
experienced depression?
Well, I've always been. I've had times where I've been sad and stuff, but I always get over it.
So you shouldn't speak on it then. 'Cause
I
that's
I
like
think
real
that's very
shit.
insensitive to people
Yeah,
who actually
people
have
deserve
mental
to be
health disabilities.
Depression.
Yo, that cough is killing me, man. Did you say depression is not real?
It's very insensitive.
Pretty sure
people
that's what
who
Yeah,
actually
people
have
deserve
mental
to be
health disabilities.
Depression most of the time is not real. No.
That's fucking wild.
Ah,
That's
okay.
fucking wild.
It's
The
not.
earth is flat.
A lot of the times when people are depressed, it's because of their own inadequacies. You're messing up in
So
something
you get
in your
raped,
life.
Is that an inadequacy?
To be fair, I low-key hear it. Bro, at the beginning of the year, I remember I went through something. I felt depressed. But I felt depressed for like a day. And then you realize, like, the second stage was like, I realized there's nothing I can do. Third of all, I created a plan. I was like, how am I going to overcome this? And then we're here now, happy as hell. Life is good. Life is how it should be. And I feel like a lot of people wallow in their pain, in their suffering. Like, bro, you need to get up and think of a plan and get over it. Like, a lot of the time you're depressed because your situation in life is not how you want it to be. That's the plain blank period of it, bro. Like,
Even
get
in all
depressed from that.
cases. I'm
No,
sure
he's
he doesn't
saying
love you.
like in the majority.
When you say a
That's-
blanket
yeah.
statement,
There's
like
always
that,
going to be
right?
exceptions,
Guys,
but I'm
voice
speaking
pissing
generally
me
in
off
this
now.
context of being fat and why you were depressed. It's
That
That
because-
wasn't the only reason why I was depressed, but go on.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's a component. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
it was a big component,
It was
for
a
sure.
response to your
Yeah.
inadequacy as a man. And the thing is that we live in a meritocracy.
that
I
one-
know
that
everyone
one
likes to run
touched us
around and
in
say,
the
oh,
nerve.
everyone's equal and it's all equality for everyone. No, that's not how the world works. Why the fuck should I be treated equally to someone who's fat, broke, not disciplined, and not as intelligent? It's a competition.
quality
Life
come
is a
from?
competition.
Where are you getting the notions that people are not disciplined? Where is that coming from?
If you look at depressed guys, etc., look at their life. 9 out of 10 times, they're not going to the gym. They're not making the money that they're supposed to be making. They're not where they need to be. Show me a guy that's making money, successful, has a good set of friends around him, has a network, etc., that is depressed. You would rarely find that. Are there exceptions to the rule? Of course. There's always exceptions to the rule. There's always exceptions to the rule. There's always exceptions to the rule. But in general, when you get depressed, a lot of the times it's because you're a fuck up and it's your body's natural response to being a fuck up.
Extreme
Has anyone
point.
here ever felt like they didn't have control over their body or their physique?
There's times where I felt like I didn't have the control I wanted, but there was never a point where I'm like, this isn't within my ability to do.
Yeah, I think we all go through stages, especially mental
Yeah,
health.
you wish it was easier sometimes, but other than that, it's like, no, of course I'm in control of it. I know I am.
So, I've started a fitness journey. I've been smaller and bigger. I used to be a dancer. This
guy
really
loves talking about his
was
dancing.
what fueled me, hit a depression. I turned to food as, something to comfort me. And I realized that I was spiraling, right? Started working out again, kind of fell off of it. But this year I told myself it was my year of renaissance, right? That I was going to actively make the changes in all aspects of my life, including my health, including what my body looks like and what my body is capable of. And so I've been doing that. Now, did that mean that I was any less of a hard worker? No. I fucking worked 3 jobs, 2 of them that I love and 1 of them as a survival job to make sure that I'm able to continue doing what I love.
Copium.
So I go to the gym every single day after work. It doesn't matter what time I get off of work. It doesn't matter what things that I have going on after work, I go. But again, going back to assumptions, you looked at me and you made assumptions about laziness, about not caring about my health and things like that, when that's the complete opposite. I reached out, I got myself a trainer because I was like, I can't do this alone. And I told him straight up, these are the things that I want you to work on with me. I want to work on building mass, losing weight, but most importantly, consistency. And I feel like all of you guys can agree that that's what it is, right? Am I where I ideally want to be yet? No. But I also learned that I needed to love myself as I am right now and build those tools so that when I get to where I'm going, I can enjoy it that much more because it's a labor of love.
It doesn't have to be a labor of love. Some people who are overweight, are they going to the gym? Are they putting the fork down? Are they doing the things they need to do? If they spent 14 hours a week doing cardio and eating healthy, they would lose the weight. I spend 14 hours a week learning Spanish, even though I am horrible at it, but I'm trying my best. And if everyone else tried their best, we wouldn't see
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Too emotional. Can't let emotions dictate your decisions.
anyone morbidly obese on this
Emotions
planet.
dictate
I don't disagree with you at all, but I think you said it's like you're spending 14 hours doing Spanish. For me, I still work out every week.
I need to get back on my
prioritize
Spanish
health,
grind,
but
chat.
there are
I need
other
to get
things
back
in
on my
life
Spanish
that
grind.
Eat
take a
half the
higher
calories and you're going to be very skinny.
But that doesn't
Guaranteed.
matter to me. That's the whole
I'm
thing.
not saying you need to. I'm just saying no one should make excuses.
And that's why I think that's why we all sat down. I totally agree. It's within my, because I've gotten really svelte in my past, but I was at like my worst state mentally. Like didn't feel good. Wasn't prioritizing the things that meant something to me in my life. My career, my family, my daughter. Health is still super important to me. That's why I still work out, still lift, still do cardio, still hike, still bike, still do all those things. The amount of time I've had to spend in the past to get to that isn't worth it in my daily life. I'd rather spend that time, focusing on that.
Also, would you agree, like looking at his physique, like he's at a perfectly, I would say, maybe healthy.
No.
I think
he's definitely overweight, definitely obese.
I mean, if you count BMI,
I'm not
Greg, when did you learn this fucking homie?
trying to put you down, just being honest.
By a BMI standpoint,
But there's a
I'm
big difference
absolutely
between
obese.
this weight and if you gain 200 pounds. But if you gain 200 pounds, it'd be like, why are you doing this to yourself? You know what I mean?
But I wouldn't be happy gaining 200 pounds. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is I kind of found kind of like a homeostasis where I'm happy and I feel healthy and I feel active and I feel like I can do what I need to
That's a
do.
good point.
All
As
my
long as you
numbers
feel
are in the
good.
right place, so I feel good. It's just it hasn't been a priority for me to go further.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's all about balance for me. Halfway
What
there.
about you? I just want to hear
I
from
was
you.
gonna say I was in the same boat as him. I feel like
Bro
myself,
has never had a single opinion for himself. Bro has never had a individual thought in his whole life. Bro has never ever fought for himself.
comfortable with where I'm at right now. I've lost 100 pounds.
Congrats,
I
man.
know, thanks. And I can keep going, that kind of stuff, but like,
Thanks.
doctor says everything's fine with you. You are obese, but I will never forget the doctor told me you're healthy obese, which was like blew my mind.
Healthy for being obese.
Yeah,
probably.
so I needed just one health condition to qualify under health insurance for a weight loss supplement for them. I didn't qualify. I had no high blood pressure, didn't have diabetes, didn't have anything else. So I was like, okay,
Bro,
well,
just
I just want to lose weight because obviously as I get older, it's not going to be like that. But I mean, perfectly, I know I had the control to get where I'm at right now
Chat.
or where I want to be, but I'm pretty
Someone
happy.
told this guy to shut up.
That's awesome. Again, I feel like what's sustainable is different for everyone, right? I think there's a way to weave in fitness in your life in a sustainable manner that might not encompass you losing a ton of weight. I think people kind of have different stages in life where they're focusing on different things, and I think that's something I can completely respect.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as long as you know that you have the agency to actually make that change,
Yeah.
when the time comes, when you want to do it, like I don't see anything wrong with that.
I'm just very curious, out of show of hands, who here feels like
That's interesting.
after spending time in this space, you feel like you're closer to understanding the other side than when we stepped in the room?
So everyone except Myron and and this black guy.
I understand it less. Literally, like.
We'll talk
Just, we
after.
can't, we run the risk of it blowing open again, but this was a super, super interesting discussion. One of the more interesting episodes I've been a part of. So thank you all. Thanks for sharing your perspectives.
W episode. I ain't gonna lie. Chat. That's the end of our 1 hour 50. That's 1 hour 45 has got to be the longest video I've done on this whole channel. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're back on it. I'm trying to get consistent, guys. I promise you, I reacted to a 1 hour 20 reaction of Gunna the other day. His album dropped. YouTube shut it the fuck down. I promise you, I'm trying for you guys. I'm trying, but they're trying to get me down. So I think the move in that direction is going to be these type of videos. Same thing, just like, come on now. Different thing. Yeah, just shut up, man. I've lost my